Amber Heard. Objection. Hearsay. Lawyer cocks up. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I anticipate that you've already seen the footage from the trial that's taking place between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, where Heard's lawyer repeatedly utilises the objection on the grounds of hearsay when Johnny Depp was giving his evidence and was being examined. You don't need for me to go into what hearsay is, but you may have seen the footage where it got to the point that nearly everything that Depp was trying to say was objected to on the grounds of hearsay, and that he got to the point where he was almost waiting for Heard's lawyer to dive in there, and when he didn't, would almost say, "Oh, I'm okay to proceed, am I now?" It became quite comical. This aspect of the lawyer, who of course is just doing his job, but objecting again and again and again, became farcical at one point. You probably have seen this footage also, but it's worth viewing again, not least because it's quite entertaining, but also it provides us with an opportunity to understand more about how Amber Heard would react to this behaviour. Let's bring on the footage.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh,
Next question.
okay. You said he sustained a... You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question. Next question.
Okay. You said he sustained an injury to his finger.
I played it twice to enable you to digest it fully, but quite simply, the witness, whilst giving his evidence, finds his evidence being objected to on the grounds of hearsay. Of course, what happened here was the lawyer objected to his own question, which shows that he wasn't actually thinking, and that he was obviously thinking ahead to the next question that he was going to ask. And as soon as he hears anybody referring in the realms of, "Oh, I know this because such and such told me," he has an almost Pavlovian response of going, "Objection, hearsay." It made him look rather stupid, and of course, as you've seen at the tail end of the footage, Depp's lawyer and Depp both found that rather amusing, that he objected to his own question. But how would that make Amber Heard feel? Well, it might be that she wasn't paying any attention. She may well have C3PO'd and the off switch had been hit and she was elsewhere. But if she had been paying attention, that would have impacted on her. Why? Because it's her lawyer, and he is attached to her as an extension of her. Now, ordinarily, many people who are litigants utilise their lawyers as guns for hire, particularly in the United States, which is a particularly prevalent litigation environment. But it occurs in the United Kingdom, Australia, and other jurisdictions too, that essentially the lawyer is hired, often an aggressive pit bull trial lawyer who's there to basically get certain points across and act as that hired gun. Therefore, they are in a way an extension of most people because they're there to advocate the case. But it takes on an added complexion when we come to the analysis with regard to a narcissist. He is her lawyer. He is an extension of her. He is attached to her. When he lands the blows, they're her blows. When he makes a good point, it's her good point. But conversely, where he fucks up, it impacts upon her because it reflects badly upon her. And in that instance, there will be a sensation of challenge experienced. She won't recognise it as such, but her narcissism will cause her, because she has no emotional empathy for her lawyer, to basically think, between gritted teeth, "You fucking idiot." And in that moment, she'll assert control, of course, not by shouting across the courtroom and saying, "You're fired, you lousy lawyer. I'm getting rid of you, you ball-washing bastard." She might make a remark to somebody sat alongside her to indirectly assert control, or more usually, she would just think to herself, "Why am I paying this goon?" So she deals with the threat to control posed by the challenge field provided by her own lawyer. But what it also does is it means that the narcissism will effectively log this, put it away in the box of tricks. Amber Heard will not do this consciously because she's not an aware narcissist, but her narcissism will do it for her. So that at a later juncture, if things aren't going her way, if the lawyer is saying to her, you need to do this, and she disagrees with it because it's a threat to control, she will then pull this from the box of tricks, guided by her narcissism, and throw it back in his face. You're so fucking useless, you objected to one of your questions. Why on earth would I want to keep a lawyer that incompetent? And therefore it would enable her to bring up the past. Many of you will have been involved in litigation with narcissists, and I have advised so many people how to navigate their way through it, whether it's a commercial dispute, commonly advising in relation to divorce, co-parenting scenarios, sometimes with regard to the division of property on will, neighbourly boundary disputes, and so forth. And it really does pay to have HG in your corner as a consequence of understanding how much help that provides you. Understanding the next move of the narcissist, where you're not able to go no contact because you're involved in litigation, is worth its weight in gold. And I've helped so many people in that regard. Here, it's also worth pointing out that many narcissists fire their lawyers and move on to another one. Often done because the lawyer will give advice which is probably correct, but the narcissist doesn't like, because they're being told you're going to lose or your evidence didn't go down well. And because of the lack of accountability of the narcissist and that need to assert control and to reject any suggestion that the narcissist is at fault, it's going to be somebody else's. And this cock-up here, where he objects to his own question, could come back and bite him on the bottom at a later juncture, possibly be used as a reason to sack him or to not pay his fees. So it remains to be seen. But again, a little snippet from the trial enables us another opportunity to explain a narcissistic nugget to you. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.